It's J-Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through. How you doing? We about to break down this BMF season 4, episode 5, first reaction. And it was a good episode. It had a lot going on this episode. It wasn't as good as the latest Shy episode, but it was good, and it did have some drama. And it had a couple things I thought might happen, like, for example, dude might come for Purdy, which we saw. Dang, man. And she was looking good, trying to do her thing, even though she had a little booger sugar up in her butt. She ain't deserved to get whacked like that. Dang. We also see Meech. It looked like Meech was hitting that for real. All right. That might be his real woman, because them look like some real moves. All right. Also, his boy Duffy done got pinched. So we gonna have to get into it. Now look, we see in the beginning. Oh, and Nikki, she got a baby on the way. Anyway, we see in the beginning of this episode a little bit more Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And it seemed they went through a lot, and they was getting out. They showed Meech booty cheeks a lot this episode. Start off with a little side cheek action, which I'm like, oh my goodness. At least it wasn't a full view. They saved that for later in the episode. But they getting a little washed up in the tub or whatever outside somewhere in Mexico. And then Terry see a little shorty in the bushes. Meech and Terry talking to him. Loco come grab the kid. He mad. He talking about dude a snitch. Shorty done got one of his friends killed before. And so he about to basically what? Interrogate him. And Terry like, come on, man, that's a shorty, man. We ain't about to do stuff to shorties. Man, he like, yeah, you right, but we still got to know what's up. And so it seemed they went through a lot in Mexico, and they may have even branched off in Mexico. And who knows, the way the story is being told in this show, it seemed that maybe their split really began to start in Mexico. Well, it may have started before, but it began to form in Mexico, the brothers. Anyway, we see they having a hard time with the music business, and truth be told, he probably should have been focusing on the dope game, because it seemed that Jay Pusher has been real shady and, trying to make moves behind Meech's back. We saw last episode he was talking to Loco at the airport, talking about let's make some move without Dimitri. So who knows? But Loco did tell him, Meech, that Dimitri, St. Louis is no bueno. It's no good. Jay Pusher. He told him Jay Pusher trying to make moves behind his back. You got to be careful out of there. So with that being said, Meech got the word directly from Loco that he was trying to cut Meech out of the deal, make moves without Meech, which is shady business right there, because what they basically trying to do is cut him out of the profits, cut him out of the pie. If they go directly to the connect, why would they go with him and pay the markup prices? So that's one thing, it's messed up. Couple things that was almost good news this episode. We see Charles, he all happy. He about to get the band back together again. They about to get on the road again. He went and talked to old girl. Now, I don't know how he didn't talk to her after that beat down he delivered on old boy. But he was sitting there talking to her like, yeah, you want to go on the road with me? And it's obvious she's scared of him. And so she basically said, "No, let's stop whatever we doing before somebody get hurt for real." And so that was the end of that. So now he ain't got no main squeeze. He go to get his guitar out the pawn shop. First dude raised the price on him. Secondly, He see that ring on display and dude like, this fine ass red bone came through, boy. Woo. I feel sorry for who let that one go. Yeah, man, this one right here. Charles like, he like, never mind. Here you go, man. Here's the guitar. Don't kill me. When he said, let me check that out. And he pointed, at first I thought he was pointing at a gun. I'm like, Charles about to snap. Let me get to some of these comments. Rashonda, was good, Ma? How you feeling? Happy 4th of July. I wanted to go live at 10, but I swear, man, my neighbors, they started popping every firework in the city next door, man. I mean, it was super loud. Suburbia Jones, what's good, bro? Courage and Warrior, what's up? What's up with you? Big Bird, what's good, fam? How you doing? So we later see, which is really just so sad and ironic in life, is that Charles, he had to, when he went on that last tour, which that's the thing in life, what you want to do, chase your dreams or be practical and realistic sometimes. And so what he ended up doing when he went on that last tour is he basically had to what? Quit his job or leave. So maybe this explains partially why he wasn't making maybe as much money as some other people at the GM factory, because if you leave and come back, I don't understand it all with seniority and things, but who knows? But we see him trying to give a little bottle, a little jug of juice, you know what I'm saying, a little champagne to his partner, said, hey, man, I wanted to thank you, man, for looking out for me, man. I'm going back on the road. He like, man, last time you did that, I had to go ahead and pull some strings, get you your job. Now you back on the road again, man. Yo, you tripping, man. And he said, man, anyway, I drink scotch. I want that cheap wild Irish rose. Anyway, we later see, which is so sad, that while Charles sitting there trying to train a young buck, they hauling engine blocks, which engine blocks is about a what, 500 pounds easy. And so they taking the engine block and he trying to tell Shorty what to do and he ain't paying attention, and Charles get his right hand smashed. Think it's broke. So that means you ain't playing no guitar. You ain't on the road. That dream has been deferred, sadly. Which, dang, man. In a way, I kind of felt this pain. I had some dreams that got crushed because of other reasons. And so, that is sad. It's best to even go and follow that dream and either fail or succeed than to not even really have that chance, because that'll kill you in the end, because you don't know if you would have made it or you didn't. Anyway, we see one good thing, and that was that B. Mickey, his surgery for his daughter went well. And then he went on ahead and proposed and everything. That was a beautiful moment. To see the little young family coming together and everything, the baby doing well. He trying to do right. Lucille praying, everything. That was a good scene. And then, of course, they had to throw in something else in the show. Lamar. What's up with Lamar and his make amends and his revenge? He didn't went to go see his cousin. Ooh, I forgot, man. Donnell Rollins, boy, he was playing a hell of a role. He a pervert looking at dead bodies. I like women, but I couldn't look at no dead women. He looking at her little bitty boobies and stuff. I hope of course she was real. She wasn't dead. She was an actress. But anyway, Lamar pop in while he over here looking at dead women before he cremate them, which, oh my goodness. Anyway, they end up talking a little bit for a second. Lamar, he get patched up in his shoulder. I thought he got shot in both shoulders. Now he only shot in one shoulder, and he didn't go to the hospital. He fixed it himself. Come on, man. And he was lifting weights earlier after getting shot in the shoulder. Anyway, he had Cuzzo patch him up. Next thing you know, he beat him up, throw him in the damn, what is that called? Cremation chamber. He done burnt him alive. What? Dang. That was messed up. We also saw something else. So Terry confronted Lala, and he was telling Dom, like, look, I have my men telling you, tailing you, and you didn't win still messing with Boom. You still messing with that cop. She like, nah, I was just doing that to check. I got the connect from him, this and that. He like, and so she like, Terry, I love you. Tried to kiss him. She like, Terry. And that right there, it made me think, yeah, she's shady. And then shortly after, we see her coming in the house. Boy, I'm going to tell you, boy, I don't know what they do between what she's wearing on this show versus the Shy, but her booty, whoa, her booty was out there. She walked in the damn room. I'm like, whoa, this can't be the same person on the Shy. Women, y'all got all kind of clothes and things y'all can change and do something to lift or tuck or shape or something. I don't know. Not to say she looked like she don't have a booty compared to this, but I was looking like, what? Is this the same person? Anyway, Boom, like, yeah, he in the house. She ain't even know he getting out. She like, how you get in here? I use my key. This dude using Bobby P and breaking the house. And so he like, I've been dreaming about this all day. She assumed the position. He bend it over and she just ready. I'm like, but see, the thing was this. It seemed like she was doing it out of fear, in my opinion, versus out of love. Now, she's with Terry, it seemed like she's doing it out of manipulation and not out of love either. So I'm not saying that she do it with Terry and it seemed like it's love, because it doesn't. So I don't see love with either of those guys with her. I actually maybe see a little more love and playfulness when she with the cop, Vic. She probably tried to get rid of both of them and then ride off in the sunset with him. Anyway, let me get some of this water right quick. Get to some of these comments. One Journey, how you doing? You said correct, Jay, out of fear. Yeah, she definitely was with him out of fear. And I like how she was with him and doing the things. I just don't like the reasoning. Like if I got home from prison and my woman was ready to assume the position, I would be like, I love this girl. But I wouldn't want to do it because she think I might kill her. Nah, well then that's kind of defeating the purpose. This Ice Mountain water is nasty. Ice Mountain water is nasty, y'all. It tastes flat. Mm-hmm. One Journey, her husband came home, snitch, walking, and she complied. You know, that's a good point. He probably did snitch. How did he get out? It seemed like he might be in for a minute. And then it was a setup. He probably did snitch. Probably did have something to do with that possible setup. Now they got him out, maybe to put it all the way through. Who knows? One Journey, you say never like that necrophilia, taking advantage of dead people. Taking advantage of the dead people. Well, I don't know if you could be taking advantage of a dead person, I guess. I just watched this show on HBO called The Mortician documentary. Now that was a lot of taking advantage of. Again, I don't know. Maybe taking advantage of somebody if they spent money or the family. Now, I'm not saying that because I don't know about taking advantage, that means it's okay. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you gone, I don't know. but I do know that it's sick. First of all, in my life and experience, the best parts of being with a woman is that it's warm and a person's interacting with you. So if you're on a cold, hard, stiff, dead body and then they just laying there, that's insane. It's not interacting with you. It's not warm. It's no. Ugh. Plus, I think you can get diseases too. Anyway, that show the mortician. The reason I was saying that, they take your gold teeth out. They'll take your eyeball. They'll scrape your pupil off. They'll do all kind of stuff. But again, ain't like you need to use it no more. So I don't know. I think it's probably if the family's paying you and you made a bunch of money off of my body parts of my loved one and they didn't agree to be an organ donator, that's where I would be upset. Anyway, what's good, DeMarcus Vaughn? How you feeling, fam? Suburbia Jones. Now you see how men get arrested for SA because she did it, but she really didn't want to. Yeah. Now, if Boom had a lot of money, she would have had him locked up or sued. Yeah, man, that is a tricky situation and subject, man. That is, yeah, dang, man, Suburbia Jones. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this, but I will say, let's say he was Diddy. And, they doing this. How does he know that she did it out of fear? Some people don't know. He may be thinking, she my wife. She wasn't afraid of me. Not realizing she is afraid of you. We on the outside looking in, you know. Maybe he can't see these things. She does lie to him and play the role when she go to prison, talking about you my husband, we together. And then she really trying to use him and fear him and all of these things. Yeah, man. You know what? I hate to say it, but and I'll say in countries, American type countries, it's probably making it harder on the dating for people. So, which isn't good because it's hard enough when you're dating people to begin with. You don't know if somebody there with you because they want to be or using you or they can get something out of it or what. Encouraging warrior Marquisha was not enjoying that at all. But see, here's the thing. He was hitting it from the back, so he can't see her face. She ain't trying to run away. She bent over real easy. But no, she was not enjoying it. That is true. That's the difference, I guess, between men and women. I guess some men sleep with women they don't want to and they not enjoying it. But it's kind of harder, at least for me, because you got to be able to perform. I can't if I ain't trying to enjoy it and I ain't into it, I can't really get it up. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's not to say every man that has those problems, that's what the issue is. I don't have those problems, just to be clear. Unless it was a bad situation, which I don't get in those situations, hopefully, in life. In the future, I know it ain't been in the past. Encouraging warrior, she didn't expect him coming home. He wanted to surprise her. True, definitely true. And it was definitely a surprise. But if she was really happy to see him, she'd have dropped them bags and ran and jumped in his arms or something and kissing on him and whatever. He wouldn't have had to walk over there and do all of that like he was the Godfather. DeMarcus Vaughn Boone would definitely spaz out when he find out that Boone living in the house that Terry bought. Oh, yeah. Now that's definitely true. That's definitely true. What, Journey? You is funny. You said necrophilia is with the dead without consent. They dead. They can't consent to nothing. without consent. They ain't got no complaints either. Technically, they the silent majority. Anyway. All right. Can we get a Lamar impersonation? I beat my addiction. Hey, what he tell him when he put him in the damn you did cook Blackie. So I'm about to go on here and put you in there too. Two Blackies together. Eternity. Oh man, Lamar boy, dude crazy, ain't he? So what else happened, man? They popped Purdy. Now, here's the thing, man, that I realized in life. Now, I did realize this when I was younger, maybe around these ages that these guys are. But you don't say one thing you don't want to do in life, and this is real advice. Don't put a person in a position talking about, well, you ain't gonna do this, or what you gonna do, or you ain't this, or you ain't that. Don't put people in those positions because maybe they wouldn't have done things, or maybe they didn't think of that. But when you do this, you could be putting person back against the wall, ego, and then they get pushed to do things they probably wouldn't have done. For example, they probably wouldn't have popped Purdy, but when Meach came in and got the drop on him, now here's the deal. Yeah, dude did some shady business in the music industry. And the music industry, especially the rap game and R&B, it had some issues, especially in the 90s. Most people are familiar with what Death Row and all of that type stuff may have went through and did during them time periods, but that wasn't something that was isolated. And so I'm not saying it was all the time, but they ended up, Meach and Terry, paying for her contract. Oh boy, I forgot his name that had the deal, little shady dude. He then had another thing where she can't perform. He owned her performances. And so they tried to get her music out there on the radio. They didn't find it ain't on the radio. So then they go and talk to him. He like, look, man, it ain't on us. Go talk to the people on the contract. Dude say, yeah, y'all done. Basically, y'all ain't gonna do this. Here's another escalation. First of all, he could have just named the price in the first place. But then again, he could be upset that they poaching his artists. Understandable. So here's the deal. They want to get revenge. This is how it all escalates. And then they end up giving Meach and Terry, well, not they, he, give him an ultimatum. They ain't say the price, but he wrote it on a piece of paper, probably $1 million, and said, or something, I don't know, and said, I need it in a certified cashier's check. Basically, it can't be no street money either. It's got to be legit, which make it even another hurdle for them to accomplish to get this artist. And so then when that plan didn't work, Terry lost the money in the casino. He trying to make some money, do whatever, who knows. They come to plan B, which is get the drop Escalation again. So they in his house, got him and his dude at gunpoint. He signed the contract. After he signed the contract, he poured gasoline on it. Meach, he say, yeah, you all bark, no bite. Okay. That's very emasculating as a man. And he's supposed to be running his thing. He obviously is successful. Got the office doing stuff with the nice crib. He got security, whatever the case. So then, what is he going to do? He can't allow that to happen. The ego won't allow it. So, escalation to the final where you see that big dude, which, you know, in the 90s, security was a little different, although people did still uh, pat you down. I was going to bars and clubs and stuff in the 90s from what, 95 to 2000 was my prime years in the streets, going to bars, clubs, and stuff. I mean, that was what, from 16 to probably 21. By the time I was 22, I was kind of tired of that stuff. Anyway, point is, I was in Chicago, but you did get frisked. It wasn't metal detectors. I believe they did have those wands back then, though. But I don't know how it was in Atlanta. They had this party. They got this, I don't know, man, what they did, but this dude gets in there with a gun. And when they got Purdy on stage, and she was looking good with her little outfit, he aired her out, hit her twice. Dang. And it made me wonder even more if this was a real person. I might have to ask some chat GPT, do some deep research up in here and find out who that was. But sure enough, man, he almost took out Meech and Terry, because right when she came up there, she invited Meech and Terry up there, and they all standing there, and man, that was an easy target, wasn't it? And Meech, even though him and Terry have their moments, first thing he was thinking was getting over there because he thought his brother got popped, and that was what's up. I mean, but it's messed up that Purdy got popped. And like they said, man, they tried to do something different. They end up getting further deeper down the rabbit hole of destruction. Now, one person was asking me if the woman that Meech been talking to in Atlanta might be his baby mama in real life or his mother. I don't know, but I will tell you that was real right there. Her legs open, the way he had it, doing everything, that looked real to me. Like I was saying on, what was we watching in the Shy, and he had Karush Tran in the damn bathroom, and I said, oh, I need some room. This what I'm talking about right here. I need some room. We'd had to get out of that stall. I need to. Hey, although we saw a little bit too much of Meech butt cheeks again, I will say, dang, what's up, Meech? You up there getting it in. Speaking of getting it in, Nikki pregnant. Nikki pregnant. She throwing parties while mama out of town. Daddy gone. She over there smoking. She smashing. And then Terry come in, and then dude hide in the closet. Then Terry see them big ass shoes. Find out the worm up in there. Big worm. What you doing, big worm? You ain't trying to hit my sister, big worm. He done threw him down the stairs, told her. She smacked Terry and then said, if I see him again with you, I'm going to murk him. Woo. I don't know, man. It may not be easy having some big brothers if you was a little sister. I don't know. One Journey, you say she out of control. I mean, she young. She feeling herself. She thinking she's so much better than everybody and smarter because she stayed in school and doing this and doing that. And you realize in life you can make the same mistakes as anybody else. Straight up. Ain't nobody, and for the most part, making new mistakes in life. It's the same old story under the sun. So, yep. Encouraging warrior, you say LaWanda tried to tell her little fast self. I know, right? She ain't listen. She thinks she know every damn thing. JKE, what's up, bro? Happy 4th of July. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and get my MOSCORE rating. And then we can chop it up a little more and put the link in here. And want to talk about this, we can. And then we'll talk about the shot was really good this last episode. Probably one of the best episodes I've seen in a minute. I can't stand Emmett Brother. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and break it down with the MOSCORE. All right, the MOSCORE rating, my rating system, be non-biased. 4 categories, 25 points each. The first category with the visual cinematography, it was pretty good. I mean, they always keep it consistent with the filming to make it kind of look a little older. I did like the car chase scene and stuff, although it did seem maybe a couple of those car maneuvers was reused when Duffy and Meech was trying to get away and Bryant was on his tail. They had a nice little car chase scene. I'm sure they did some extra work to make that happen. So that was interesting. And they had a couple other things going on. The scene with Meech and old girl, hey, and Purdy getting popped. I'm gonna give them, and then I like how they put the cinematography together with B. Mickey and wondering about his daughter, and then they pray, and now it come out and the gravity and the thing. They did good. I like when Charles saw that ring and he stepped back. It was like he saw the ghost of wifey's past in this month. I'm gonna give this visuals out of a 25. I give it a 22. I give it a 22. Let's see, storyline and plot. I like this storyline and plot for this episode. We see a little bit more about what happened in Mexico. We see the actions in the music game ain't that easy. They losing lives just like they was in the dope game. Lamar, Blackie's revenge. Where my Blackie? So overall, I think this was a good episode. I'm gonna give this episode. I give it a 23. Actually, I like this episode. It was pretty good. Special effect, makeup, costumes. I mean, they always have everything pretty good. They did put a little outfit on for Purdy and a couple other things they had going on, and so I'm gonna give it a 21 for that. And then lastly, entertaining fun factor. It was good. It was entertaining. It wasn't probably the most entertaining episode, but I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind watching it again. Some episodes it wasn't nothing much I don't think I missed, but this one was pretty good. I would give it a 21. A 21 out of 25. That bring it, to an 87 on the MOSCORE. I don't know if it would have probably felt like a 87, close to a 9. I mean, it was more like a 8, 8.5 maybe to me, but it's an 87 come out to. And I don't know. It wasn't bad though. I enjoyed it. So let's see. All right. Got my girl Encouraging Warrior. What's good? How you doing?
Hey Jay, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, happy 4th. They out here popping all these
Yeah,
fireworks. I can't even get no kind of sleep.
y'all know, right? It lit up like the 4th of July over here. Anyway,
Yeah, right?
I guess we got to do what we can while we still got a country anyway. Uh, what you think about this episode? I had to sneak that in there. So what you think about Meech and Purdy and Lala and all the gang getting back together again? Charlie, what you think about this episode?
Um, I liked the episode for what it was, for it to be like episode 5. So I guess like, you know, the plot and the suspense is slowly but surely building up. But I like the fact that Markeisha definitely she got I guess what you call I guess she got her karma basically because she thought she was sitting there playing everybody, when in reality you the one get you know what I'm saying? Literally.
Right, right. You ain't
like, like,
lying.
like, 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 calm down, Marquisha. You need to play your position because you're getting out of pocket. And as soon as Boone came through that door, you saw how her reaction, her face just changed.
Uh-huh. Yeah, man. She's not, and this is what's kind of realistic in the sense that women ain't in this type of game like that normally. If they is, they like Miles Davis or something. But in her position, she ain't about to be fighting. She ain't shooting, doing it. She in a bad position. She should get out of this stuff. You
Let
know.
me tell you something, man. Not to be like show hopping, but she wasn't even about that life when she was in power. Come on, let's just keep
Power.
it a bean.
Right. She wasn't about that life and power. She ain't about that life in the shy either. But anyway. But it's one thing she do have in common on all three of them shows. But hey, I ain't gonna complain. Anyway, what you think about what happened with Meech and Terry and Purdy at the end when with the artists getting popped?
To be honest, I would have never even like went up on stage like that for security reasons because like like you got mad people like that's hating on you. You got a target on your back. And I mean, I understand you want to show love and support and all that, but you got to realize like everybody in that audience is not on your side, like, and look what happened. Like that could have been a bullet to Meech or Terry,
Hmm.
because a bullet don't got no name on it, so
True, that's true. And Purdy, yeah, she kind of instigated this in a way, but she ain't deserved to die or get shot. You
I
know.
mean, I hope she don't die. I hope she make it, but if not, then that's going to be even more detrimental towards Meech's and Terry's endeavors in trying to start this record label. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the difficulties they already having already.
Yeah, yeah. And then what you think about Nikki? Nikki pregnant. She been sleeping around, and when Lawana or whatever asked her about who she with, she been with a couple people, but she's saying no, it was 3 months ago. I know
You
it.
know what I got to say about that, Jay?
What?
Nikki got her.
Baby.
Baby.
You got
Don't cry
baby.
now.
Nikki
You want to
Bell.
play big girl? You want to play big girl? This is what happens when you play grown, okay? Now she want to be talking about, oh, what my mama gonna think about, what my dad is gonna think about. Oh, you wasn't thinking about that then when you was sitting there hunching on Worm and Breeze and doing all this stuff in the back of cars and getting busted by the police and like, come on. I
Right.
mean, look, I'm not gonna blame everything on Nicole, but I'm just saying you would think for somebody that was getting a scholarship to a very good college would have more common sense. And then on top of that, like the parents are so more worried about going in each other's neck about a marriage that's already been gone down the drain since season 3. But y'all need to be focusing on y'all kid, the one kid you can save, which is Nicole. And now look,
That's a good point. Good point. And I think Lucille a little extra hard on Charles on that part, but I mean, hey, whatever. But you're right. One thing I don't understand is, as smart as she is, that she ain't using condoms because they in what, 96 now.
Exactly. They don't got sex education.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have sex education in school. I don't think it wasn't a class called sex education, but we knew what condoms was. I don't know. Anyway, I was scared of having a baby. Maybe I was, you know.
I mean, you would think that her mom would have had this talk with her. You know what I'm saying? Did they ever mention about this?
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Did she get smart with her mama or something, talking about having the kids or something at a young age or something?
She damn well sure did. Now look.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you throw out there. You never know. And that remind me of some stuff my son has even said. And then, you know, you think you so smart, and then you don't realize life don't always work out the way you think. It ain't as simple as that. You know.
Mhm.
Anyway, that was you know, a good point. And One Journey said that's a good point also, you know. What you think about them in Mexico and with the kid and different stuff? Boy, Meech and Terry went through some things in Mexico, didn't they?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, like, they was going through it, and then they sitting there at some kind of hideout house talking about, oh, we waiting for the cartel to come pick us up so we could go home. And I'm like, was it worth it? I mean, I hope all this that you're going through is worth it, because the
Oh,
whole point of them going down there was to get local, right? To
right.
get the new connect.
Well, I forgot what they went down there for, to be honest with you. They knew Loco already, but I don't know what the.
I mean, I think they had to get a new connect because the connect that they had before, something that went wrong or something in the last season.
I don't even remember, being honest. I can't even remember what they down there for. I think you're right though, but I can't remember. I remember they was in some shoot. They had too many. They
Yeah,
spread this Mexico thing out too much. Like, I'm just hard to.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, let's get back to like home base, like what's going on, and then like let me. One thing you have missed, I think you have forgot about the situation with Duffy. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Like Duffy and like the Red Dogs and Brian. Like the way they were beating the crap out of Duffy was just totally unnecessary.
That was realistic though, but it was unnecessary. You're right.
Like, damn, you already got the man down already. Like, sheesh. Put
But
the handcuffs on him.
what they were saying was what made me believe it. They was like, that's what you get for running. You made me run. You made me run. And they had a car accident too. So they wanted to kick his ass, for that.
I know Duffy was riding the hell out of that Beamer, though.
He was, until he ran over that thing, which I was like, no.
No.
It was messed up that Meech got into that van to get away or whatever, and he couldn't even do nothing but just watch him go down.
Mm-hmm.
And he gonna be gone for a minute because they can find out about that body that he dropped, and that's it. Because this is what he said, he dropped the body in Detroit, so that's why he was using a different name. But if they end up running his prints, they'll find out who he is, and he's gone. He'll be gone to November. But yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but there's a lot going on. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, a lot has happened in this episode. Like the one part where he went up in the pawn shop.
yeah, man, that was.
Oh man, I know that part really hurt Charles, man. But hey, this is what happens, man.
Now, do you think he had a point of saying that she could have kept that ring and gave it to your daughter? And she talking about she needs something that ain't been tarnished. She make it seem like Charles was just whooping beaters, running the
Oh, man,
streets,
I swear, I tell you, Lucille is really, really hurt over this, man.
big
Like,
time.
but like she wasn't sitting there doing her own little creeping though.
Right. Right. But you know, that's the double standard of women, though. You know,
Well,
we
I
get
was like,
punished for,
wow.
huh?
I was like, wow, Lucille. Like, and you call yourself a pastor. Like, where's the compassion?
Where's the forgiveness?
Exactly.
Right. But
Like
that
Charles said, you're more concerned about your congregation than and then with your own family. You sitting there judging everybody in your own family or whatever. That's part of the reason why they don't want to be around you.
right, right. And then that's another thing in that what some people have a criticism with people that are in the church and they are quick to have a time for everybody in the church. They got compassion and they can help everybody in the church, but let their own family or a friend need help. They can't got no money. They can't do nothing. You this, you that, da 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 da. So
Mm-hmm.
you know that definitely can rub a lot of people the wrong way. You know, like it is one thing that said like Jesus said even a killer say I love my mama or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can say that and look out for their own. It's looking out for those that's not your own that show your real character. Everybody can be there for who's there for them, you
But
know.
you know what? I think part of that money that she got from that pawn shop, she had gave to B Mickey for that surgery.
I think so too. I
It
think
wasn't like she done took the money and like tricked it off on herself or whatever like that. She gave it to a valid reason. And
right.
then on top of that, like he doing his own thing on the side. So it's like he already had the money. So I'm like, do you still keep the money or do you give it back? I mean, what?
Right. That's a good point. He should get that money back, actually.
Yeah, he
'Cause-
should give it back.
Yeah, he should. He'd be like, look, the church blessed me. I got blessed with the surgery. She healthy. I got more money. Here, let me pay it back so that somebody else can get the next blessing.
And on top of that, he talking about he want Lucille to officiate the wedding. So hey, there you go.
Right. That's true. That's a good point. I thought he was about to try to get married right in the hospital at first.
Yeah, what?
You my best man. Well, let's do it right now. Right now. Here we go. But you know, that was a good point. That was a good point. He could have probably did that. And Lucille, the main problem with what she did is that she could have framed it and told Charles that. But she framed it as like, well, I didn't need it and it's tarnished, it's ruined, and you bad. So that's why it's in there. Instead of saying, well, you know, we ain't been on the best of terms, and I did it to get the money for them.
Mm-hmm.
Then Charles probably wouldn't have said nothing.
That's what I would only. That's just what I would understand. I truly believe that Lucille is so hell bent over the fact that he cheated on her and figured like he destroyed the whole marriage and stuff. That she's just gonna find any kind of way to keep digging and digging and digging and digging, and all you're doing is just making the situation worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you see, this man is trying to like move on with his life. He telling you that he met somebody. She's sitting there all in her feelings, acting like she don't care. Remember? And I was like,
Well, this go
girl,
back to
look.
what I was saying earlier about the escalation. It's just not going to shooting. But you know, they each have done so much that now they up to here trying to pretend like they don't care. He been trying to pretend like he do care. Well, I ain't gonna say pretend. He been showing it. She don't want it. She want to punish him still.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and then she get mad like you say when he got somebody else. But what you want to just keep him in the doghouse. I don't want you to go nowhere, and I don't want you either. I want you to be punished. Like that's too much.
And then on top of that, you telling him, well, when you gonna move out the house so I can go get some welfare? Now, which one is it? Do you want me to stay or you want me to leave? Like what?
Yeah, that was low right there.
Wow.
Real low. Yeah. But also that shouldn't be in the system anyway, that you can't have a man live with you if you're on welfare. That's a whole nother
Yeah, that's crazy.
that is very crazy, but that's done on purpose. That'll be
Mm-hmm.
a section in video in time. But that should be, man. Anyway,
We know.
woo,
Woo!
woo.
Like that whole scene right there, that was a whole like video in itself, like right there.
Yeah, it was, because that kind of shows part of the problems with the black community after civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't all just, it's a whole, like you said, a whole video, and how people got to that point. Even the whole city of Detroit and where they was working, and how it was the richest city in the world at one point and thing. But also, like I say, that'd be a whole nother video, because during that time, most of Europe and the rest of the world was still blown up from the wars. So
Mm-hmm.
they had a chance to do that. That's not something that's available now. It's competition everywhere. Anyway, one
Well,
journey.
I think another thing that I think is messed up is the scene when Charles has messed up his hand.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Like, where's the safety? Like where
That's why they
it was
got
just do
replaced
it.
with robots.
I
Sadly.
mean, wasn't that engine block supposed to have like some type of like rope or something around it, to
It was
keep it
from what I remember, again, I only saw it once, but I thought it was on a chain, and then they had the two men pick it to carry it to another part. And that dude was a rookie, not paying attention. Charles trying to train him. This is my opinion on what the scene was. And Shorty wasn't paying attention. And Charles, it only take a slight second, because I used to work in a couple factories and things. And if you're not paying attention for a slight second, you can get hurt. And when dude
Mhm.
said something about the scotch, and Charles looked up for a second, he probably didn't realize Shorty was putting it down and move his hand fast enough or say something or whatever, and got his hand smashed. From what I know, an engine block without anything in it could easily be 250 to 500 pounds, depending on what size engine. Because once
And
you
now
put
that I'm looking back, like, how do we don't know that his boss did that out of spite? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to be sitting there distracting two people, and one of them was a rookie, and you sitting over there trying to get his attention and stuff, and then he wound up having an accident on the job, and he thinking like, yeah, now your ass ain't gonna be able to go on tour now. Like, I don't put nothing past nobody, because you got people like that on the job.
true, I don't think he did that on purpose so he couldn't go on tour, but he did probably look at him like, now you ain't going on tour and you can't show up for work. You just all messed up, ain't you?
Just
Big
give him
Bird,
another reason to talk about him.
I know, right? And you ain't gonna bring my scotch, is you? Big Bird said that they went to break Loco out of jail. Okay, that's what
Oh, okay, yeah.
Teflon Twan, he said that as well, and JKE. So shout out to y'all three with the memory on point. I appreciate it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and even One Journey said he went to jail in real life. So what's up? I appreciate y'all for that. Definitely. Okay. One Journey, America's Got Talent replaced with Asian companies, lower overhead. Asian worker. What? I must have missed what we was talking about on that one.
Oh,
But
you're talking about the factories.
oh, yeah, yeah. So much for that.
Yeah. A lot of what you call that, outsourcing.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff went to Mexico and Canada too. Um, I remember I had my Chevy Lumina. It was made in Canada. When I opened the door, it said "Made in Canada." I was like, "What?" And
Yeah, man. I remember that video you were showing the other day about how it takes like 76 seconds or something for a car to be made. And
that's
he's trying.
crazy.
I'm like, wow.
That's crazy, ain't it? 77 seconds from a car to be made for a car to be made. Man,
We definitely out of a job.
for real. For real. Who is making this factory over here and doing this? By the time that's done, how long that's going to take? Ain't nobody doing what cars they go, man. This man, we got
The only people they need is the people that maintenance the freaking machines, like that make the cars. That's it.
and pretty soon they're gonna have robots do the maintenance on robots. Think about that one.
You
Because the
know what?
robot,
Should we blame AI for this?
yeah, because Will Smith and I Robot, they put it out there. They said that machine was completely automated. That factory in I Robot was completely automated, and the robots built the robots. So when he went to go and interview those robots, and they was all in line, it was no people worked. No people worked there at all.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was some creepy stuff. And now look at it. It's coming to pass.
Yeah, and also they can clone influencers and podcasters and do stuff too.
Yeah,
Which,
I've been seeing this stuff on TikTok where they got these AI cooking shows.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty soon, the internet will be all fake because it'll just be robots watching robots and AI watching AI or people watching AI. It's no more people interacting with people. Man,
But it wouldn't even be the same though. Like, I mean, you can't replace AI with an actual living, breathing person.
well, when you got a bunch of people that ain't have a bunch of living, breathing people in their life, maybe they probably, like screw them. I'll show them. I'll put work, you assholes. Almost all of these super rich tech billionaires were bullied as kids. Like
I
bad
know you were saying that too. Like the revenge of the nerds.
for real. For real. Like in all of these movies is coming true, man. These dudes is crazy, man. Like,
Yeah, but I remember I used to watch that movie all the time. Like part one, part two, part three.
do you know how many crimes they committed in that movie? They did the panty raid. They go to jail. They put the
Yes,
cameras in the girls' bathroom, watching them naked and stuff. They go to jail. He
exactly.
went and raped old girl. He go to jail. They all was criminals.
Exactly.
They was even smoking weed in the early '80s when they had that party and with the Omega moves and then the black dudes. The only two black dudes was there from Tri Lambs, and then they was smoking what Booger had the Wonder joints or something. Anyway, back then that was Reagan's days, so you smoking weed, they thought that was crack. So they was wild.
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
What's even crazier is I didn't see anything wrong with that movie for damn near 30 years.
Oh no, now that I'm looking back, like I'm like, man, they were doing all kind of wicked stuff in this movie
They
that
would.
you would actually go to jail for.
They would. And even what the school did to them, they bullied them first. They made when the football team burnt down their dorm, they threw all the nerds out of their dorms, made them live in the gym. Like they parents paying tuition too.
Exactly.
They gonna put them in the gym. You can't have no people living in the gym at school. Man, they would have.
And then, and then they had them doing some kind of Olympics, right?
Oh, now that was.
Remember that?
Yeah. He had that little pill so he could keep drinking the dude. And he kicking on the tricycle. Man, that movie. I looked up to that movie as a young kid. Like, I want to go to college.
Yeah, right. Like it's cool to go to college.
I know, right? Man, we'd been in jail.
But
Anyway.
you know what? But then as I got older, right, then like I started watching like a different world. And then it really made me like think about my conscious, be more conscious about, world issues and stuff like that. And I I ain't gonna lie. Part of it was because I was into Whitley and Dwayne's relationship on there as well. But
I used to think she was fine back in the day. I used to think she was so cute.
I know, right? I would have never thought they would have got hooked up together because in the beginning they had him and Freddie, the goofy looking one,
Yeah.
together.
Right. Yeah, they spin-offs and that story got dry with them in love and moving on and stuff. But when they was in college, that was when it was still good, you know. But the Revenge of the Nerds stuff, when we get back to BMF, I didn't even, being honest, see a problem with some of the stuff they did until maybe 10 years ago. But
Hmm.
because it just didn't seem, I don't know. It didn't seem like a problem until as you get older and see things. So it's good that maybe a lot of this stuff won't go on that way anymore these days. But then again, maybe those were the days, huh? That movie though, I saw it not too long ago. It's so fake. Because if you remember, if anybody ever watch it again, and you see when they put them cameras to look at the women, them cameras were humongous. They cut big ass holes out of the ceiling with a big camera, and these girls just walk around naked and don't know. Plus, women don't all walk around naked in the shower together and all of that and stuff. Well, I don't know. Do you?
And
But
you know what? I do notice that it was more nudity back in those days compared to now. Now that you talking about me just seeing his look behind all the time,
right.
like I mean, yeah, it's good for the females, but for you guys, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they changed it. You know what? I think maybe the audience, now that I'm thinking about it, has changed. Like, I wonder what's the statistics of men versus women that watch TV.
Yeah, that's a good survey. Like how many
Yeah,
men and women watching the show?
I wonder. I bet you, just period, TV watchers. I wonder how many people just watch TV, period, or shows and stuff versus men and women today versus the 80s. I know it was a big male dominated in the 80s, 70s, all of that. But today, I wonder how many guys watch TV. Be interesting.
I mean, to be honest, I think it's more women watch TV because I think a lot of men out there is just focusing on other things.
Yeah. If it is maybe the same or equal, I think women comment more. So maybe they would think maybe women watch more or are active more. So maybe that's why so many things are geared towards women more, I'm guessing. Because they probably think, well, you know, the squeaky wheel get the grease, so to speak. Women
Hmm.
are the ones watching reality shows and commenting on this and that. So
Hmm.
I would probably assume they probably trying to cater to a audience that is majority women that watch TV now overall, I'm guessing. Which now explains why we see more man booty these Method Man to Big Meech and whatever. So
Well, wait a minute, because see, I remember when I first watched the first Power, the OG Power, they were showing a little like more like
Angie and Tasha,
yeah, that going on.
but
You
they
know
did
what I'm
show Ghost booty cheeks a lot. They showed that booty cheek too much.
saying? I think his booty cheek was starring in the whole season. That was the whole season.
Yeah, for real. They hooked everybody, both sides of the aisle with that show. With that,
I was like, Dad, God, like every other scene, they was sitting there smashing. I'm like, golly.
right? Exactly.
And
Well,
I'm like, you're not even doing this as much with homegirl. And
Ta-
then that's your wife.
I know, but she kind of she. It seemed that's all she wanted to be, and she ain't want to be with him. With him, when Angie, Angie didn't really know him. That whole thing was crazy, straight up. So they got BMF just came back on. I forgot when Lala came in and Boone was there. She had Fendi bags. She up here shopping at Fendi. She over here getting all these clothes and stuff.
Look, I'm trying to figure out was it the dress or was that her booty looking like that? I do not remember her booty looking like that. Like,
That thing was, boy, that was ripe. And I think it was the heels also. That's why women in heels, boy, you push that little walk on them tippy toes.
yeah,
Man,
right.
she had that thing on a pedestal.
I was like, dang, going Lala, you looking mad different today.
Boy, Vic Mensa must have been pushing something up for real. Trying to get a baby by me baby for real. Straight up. Anyway,
Speaking about babies, where the kids at? We ain't even seen none of the kids. Marquise's kids, where they at?
yeah, that's true. I guess they ain't even was at her house when they was there. She probably ain't no telling, man. They don't really get into too much details on some of this stuff. We ain't seen what's up with Terry and them kids either. So
Nope.
no telling. Lawana. Now we see that Nikki about to have one. They about to have one big old family. No telling
Oh
what's
my goodness.
yeah.
I can't wait till the next episode because I can imagine the look on her face.
Did you see the preview for the next episode?
Nope.
Oh man, Lucille said, "Oh, so when was you gonna tell us you got knocked up?" Ah, and she was just looking like,
hmm
"Yeah,
She probably found that pregnancy test, probably.
mm, yeah." I mean, she gonna have to say or do something pretty soon, you know. So
But how she figured that she pregnant by Breeze though?
I know, especially since that was 3 months ago, and now you just not throwing up. I don't know.
Exactly.
I thought morning sickness and stuff come in like the first month or two. Maybe not. I
And
ain't
I wonder, like, when did you last have your period? And she didn't even say nothing. Like, she didn't even know. Like, damn, girl, you don't know when the last time you had your period?
right. You ain't noticed you ain't had a week of shutdown. You ain't noticed you been having too much fun lately.
But
That's
she grown, though.
uh-huh. So that's why you're gonna have to pay the price, just like grown folks. Straight up. So anyway, this episode was good. I enjoyed it. I'm wondering if Big Meech and Terry gonna try to find out who popped Purdy and then get into that. And then they really got sidetracked. They went from being dope dealers to musicians to now trying to go and hunt down people that popped the musician. I think that Terry at the end of this episode when he was saying they got in the music business or whatever to sidestep a little bit and realize they getting worse off. I think that's probably gonna be the case because especially in the 90s, the rap and music game was wild, at least the rap and R&B game. Country
Well,
and rock and roll might have been okay. I don't know, but between Death Row and Bad Boy and all the stuff going on at this time, yeah, it was wild out there. It was wild in the
yeah.
streets. Mm.
Well, they better keep their head on the swivel and be mindful that Brian is on their behind. So I don't know what they're gonna do. And on top of that, they gotta figure out the situation with Jay Pusher and take care of him. Me sitting there talking in cold.
What you think about Brian and the cops, the Red Dogs? They over there taking advantage of them women. He like, yeah, she give happy endings. You won't get your time with her.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, that was crazy. Brian, he ain't even thinking about that. He's so fixated trying to get Meech because he's trying to get revenge by his son, which we already know what that is about. So yeah. He
I
ain't
kind of
thinking about
think
nothing
Brian.
else.
No, I kind of think he don't even like them Red Dogs. I think he might be using them. to try to
He
get it
is
help.
using them.
He don't like them. So he ain't even try to run. He got on the other side in the car and tried. He wasn't about to put that cigarette out. He like, man, hold on. Put that cigarette on that tuck of that lip. Hold on, let me go ahead and handle this. Anyway, you think Lamar was messed up for burning his cousin, cooking him?
That man is deranged. Okay, like that man is like the freaking B2000 Terminator. Like this man keep coming back from the dead, like he the Walking Dead or something. I'm like, Lamar. First of all, I thought you got popped a couple of times by B Mickey. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So how was that all of a sudden you got this one bullet hole on the? I think it was on his left side of his.
It was his right, I think. But either way, he got, and then they showed that clip of him getting shot in the preview of this episode. And you can see him going boom, boom. And then all he got is this, and he lifting weights with a what?
What?
Yeah, that ain't never happened.
Nah, unless he's still using or whatever, I don't know. Cause that's the only way I would think that he would be able to be lifting some freaking weights, and you just got shot.
Yeah, cocaine a hell of a drug. I don't know if it's that good. Straight up.
Cause see, that was messed up what he did to his cousin. Just threw him in that freaking incinerator like that.
Mm-hmm. Big Bird say he did have that one shot infected, so maybe I don't know how he got his help and things. Boy, you ain't lying. They done made him the Walking Dead up in this piece. He just won't go down. I wonder if he actually did get popped in real life like that. There's so many things that they put in the show. It is interesting, make you wonder some of this stuff. So yeah, keep it interesting because for those that do know a lot about the story of BMF, they throw a lot of stuff in here that people ain't never heard or don't know. So it make the show worth watching definitely, you know. So anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, but I appreciate you coming through, chop it up.
Yes, yes, I appreciate stopping by,
Oh yeah, always.
and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna catch up on watching that Shy.
Man, the last episode of The Shy was really good. I ain't gonna spoil it, but they had
Please don't.
they had a main character get into some stuff, and I was like, "What?" And I ain't gonna leave it at that. It was definitely worth watching. One of the best episodes in a long time. Covered a lot of good topics too. So yeah, definitely was. I was gonna talk about The Shy tonight, but I didn't want to get too far behind on BMF, so I may be back on The Shy Sunday or both. Who knows? We'll see. So,
All right. Well, nice coming by, and I'll talk to y'all later.
all right. Well, thank you. You take care. Have a good weekend and be safe out there. And appreciate you for coming as always. You
For
take
sure. Good. Take care.
all right. You too. All right, y'all. About to get up out of here. I need to take some medicine. My nose started running again. Anyway. Whew. It's what, 12:15 a.m., y'all. Tired. Been a long day, but I appreciate everybody for coming through in the comments and everything. And was another good episode. And we'll be back again, chop it up on the next one. So everybody, y'all be safe. Hope y'all had a happy holiday. And I'll see y'all this Sunday. Peace. I'm out.